And that woke me up. I said, whoa. I actually sat up in bed and I looked for her. I was like, where is she? And then I realized, okay, that was a dream. That was not real. I am here. This is where I am, in my room, in my apartment, on Earth. And she was not real. But that was interesting. But I'm intrigued. Whatever could that be? Hello, Dreamwalkers. I'm here today to tell you about the dreams that scare us, and particularly of the paranormal kind. I personally do not see ghosts and spirits in waking life. I mean, I've seen one, but I don't think it might not have been. It could have just been someone who looked like, okay? But because I don't see spirits and ghosts in my waking life, I have a pretty strong boundary between what I see in my dreams and what I see in real life. What I do is I ground myself in reality. When I wake up from a disturbing dream or a spooky dream, I remind myself I'm here in my home, my beautiful home that I love so much. You know, I feel the bed. Maybe I put my feet on the carpet, or I stand up and I make like a big pose. You know, I make myself big so I can extend my consciousness through my limbs, through into my feet, into my fingertips, through my head. I'm just like, boom, I am big. Like I feel the whole room with my presence because I'm alive and I'm here in my home on Earth. And that helps me. It helps me because then I get to be curious, say, well, what was that? That was interesting, whatever it was that I was dreaming. Obviously, it wasn't real because I'm not there. I'm here, and that can't follow me here. So now let's be curious. Now let's ask questions. If I'm super awake and ready for it, I can write things down or type things out or take a voice note so that later after I've gone back to sleep and gotten up again, I can sift through my notes and see what little nuggets come out of it, what kind of wisdom was buried there for me. I'm going to tell you about two dreams in particular that spooked me, but I was able to ground myself after I woke up and feel fine. Okay, so the first one is a ghost. I knew she was a ghost because she was pale and she was a little bit see-through. I was dreaming of myself, like as if I was an observer in my bedroom. And so I could see the bed, I could see me, and I could see her. She was like an elderly woman. She had long hair, but it was in a small, low bun. And she sat on the edge of my bed. Super quick dream, just like a split-second dream, because what woke me up was the feeling of her sitting on my bed. She didn't sit on my feet. She sat very close to my feet because she was at the end. So I was able to feel the pressure on the bed as she sat down, and that woke me up. I said, whoa. I actually sat up in bed and I looked for her. I was like, where is she? And then I realized, okay, that was a dream. That was not real. I am here. This is where I am, in my room, in my apartment, on Earth. And she was not real. But that was interesting. But I'm intrigued. Whatever could that be? So it's up to you, right, with your dreams, if you want to put a optimistic spin on things, or if you want to dive deeper and see if there's any shadows lurking in your psyche that are asking to be tended to. So it depends on where I'm at in life, but in that instance, I took it as an ancestor because I wasn't dealing with anything severe or emotionally heavy at that time. And that's why I decided she was guarding me or showing me that she's watching I know for some people that might be spooky, thinking of a spirit or a ghost watching you while you sleep, right? But for me, it was more of a checking in. Like, I assume a lot of people have had the experience of a parent or someone sitting on your bed and like talking to you, be like, "How was your day?" or "How are you feeling?" or "We're gonna have a great day tomorrow." Just like debriefing or something. So that was how I took it. It was like, okay, it's just they were like hanging out with me, checking in on me, and my perception of that was, oh, thanks. That's cool. All right. I'll take it. As many guardian angels as you want to send my way, I will receive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm telling you, gratitude does wonders for my psyche. A little tangent here. I heard somewhere, I might be misremembering things, but I heard that if you do a gratitude practice for like 2 minutes, it increases the DHEA, something like that, in your body, which is the hormone that creates or at least instructs the creation of all the other hormones in your body. So it like sets you up for the optimal cascade of hormones for your day. So if you take 2 minutes to just either vocally verbalizing what you're grateful for or writing it down, that somehow changes the chemistry in your brain, therefore your body, and then you feel great. And it's sort of like a free chemical boost for your day. I've done it. I've done it so many times. I love it. I did it the other day when I was walking to the cat cafe. I had parked kind of far away. And then I realized, what? I feel kind of off. My mood is not great. I feel wonky. I don't like it. So I remembered the gratitude practice. And so for the whole walk, I just named things that I was grateful for. Grateful for the sky. I'm grateful for Italian restaurants. I'm grateful for pizza. I'm grateful for dragons. I'm grateful for plants. I'm grateful for mysteries. I'm grateful for fiction writers. I'm grateful for, just whatever popped into my head. It was great. I felt super by the time I got to the cat cafe, and all the cats felt my good vibes, and they just played with me and they slept on me, and it was just so good. Warms my heart. Okay, I want to tell you about the other dream, which could have instilled fear, but instead I was curious after grounding myself. So in this dream, I had been wandering around an old parking lot with a lot of old cars and buses. It was nighttime. This was in my dream, okay? It was nighttime, and I was wandering around, like kind of roving with a pack of kids. Like I was a kid, they were kids, and we were all just wandering around, checking things out. And we walked into an old bus, and it was large inside, like a classroom, and there were desks. And so some were at desks. I was kind of circling a desk. There was a radio playing too. It was kind of metal music. I don't listen to metal music. I never listen to metal or heavy metal or scream metal or any kind of that stuff. So it was weird that that's what was playing on the radio. So I was noticing that. I was like, that's odd. And I noticed how all the other kids were kind of popping off. They were getting hyphy. They were jumping on desks and swinging from the whatever they could swing from. It was kind of crazy. And then I heard my name. It was my legal name, the name I never use. I've had a lot of nicknames. I've gone by many aliases in my life. And this time, it blew me away. It got my attention. I turned around to see like who was saying my name, and they were saying it with a growl, and it was loud, right? And I saw, when I turned and looked, I saw a kind of like a silhouette because they were all black. So as if they were backlit and you couldn't see the front of their anything, right? So all I noticed was there's long hair and like a trench coat like thing. And it had the effect of a drawing, like a comic book drawing, kind of scribbles and scratches everywhere. So that was this person standing right in front of me who had just like called me by my name. And I was like, oh, and I woke up and I was done. I was like, I'm not finishing that dream. Nope, that is not, that doesn't feel right. Like it definitely felt like a demon. So in that instance, once again, I had to ground myself, remind myself, I am here in my room, in my house. I have all of my cozy things, all my favorite pillows, like I am safe. I am here. Whatever that was doesn't follow me into this reality. Have that very solid boundary. That was very interesting for me, but I didn't fear it, and I did eventually go back to sleep. If you have any interesting stories like that, I'd love to hear them. Have you ever had a dream like that where you were spooked awake, where you woke up wondering what the heck was after you or watching you or addressing you, like some entity was trying to make contact with you but didn't follow you into reality? What did you do? What are your practices and methods for keeping yourself grounded and calm? Or might I say, for soothing yourself? Do you have any practices for soothing yourself when this happens? I will share that sometimes if a dream or a series of dreams feels particularly dark, I might not want to go back to sleep. Even after doing my grounding practices, I might feel like, ugh, like I just still haven't shaken it off, that weird feeling. So I'll make myself some hot chocolate and I'll sit down and I'll look at comedy skits, or I'll watch the cute dogs and the cute cat videos. Yeah, that usually helps a lot. And if the body is particularly tight, if it feels that constriction still from the scare, you can stretch. I love stretching. I love just like doing whatever stretch I feel, just like basically exploring all the planes of movement. I'm not trying to do any specific yoga poses or any specific athletic stretches. I'm just like being in my body, sort of the way people move when they're dancing, right? You just move the way the music tells you. So you could do that too. You could play some music and you could sway to something chill, or you could put on your favorite beats that really change your mood, because you know what those are. You know which songs get you excited or make your heart a little bit happier than it was before. Okay. The dream journals I've done so far. I've done the dream journal volume 1. I've done volume 2, which is the waking dream that takes you through your day, reminding you to play, reminding you to relax, to take a nap, maybe write down your dream after your nap if you had one, reminding you to have tea or notice how you're feeling, things like that. I made that journal. I also am working on a Samhain journal for when the seasons change. When summer's over and we move into fall. When fall is over and we move into winter. When the winter begins is the Samhain. Yes, I'm super excited about that one. I have some dream guidance in every journal because that's my thing, is dreaming, dream walking, and recording and analyzing, interpreting dreams. So all of my journals have something about dreams, but I think now that I'm talking about this with you, I'm going to add a little bit of guidance around this topic too. Oh yeah, my next video will be about not ghosts but dead people. And does it sound weird to say it like that? Dead people? I don't know. Should I say your ancestors who you're familiar with, right? Like either family members or friends that you knew in your waking life, and now they are gone. They have passed away, but you still see them sometimes in your dreams. That happens to me a lot. And it's different depending on who the person is and what they meant to you. So yeah, I'll work on a video of that. The other things that are in the works, I got some oracle cards in the works. We're going to call them a dream deck. And I have a cute little calendar with some forest animals. I just love cute animals. Oh my God. So yeah, you can find all of that in my links below, in my bio, in my profile. And let's just keep dreaming, Dreamwalkers. Keep writing down your dreams. Keep sharing them with me. You can always message me. I'm happy to chat about dreams. And find me on all my other socials. The links are below. We have a Facebook coven as well, which is an awesome place to meet other dreamwalkers and talk about your dreams. All right. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for stopping in today and chatting with me about ghosts and spirits. I hope it was helpful or inspiring. And may you have beautiful dreams under the same stars. Catch you later. Bye.